if you're like me, when you got into college, you probably got into certain study hop, trip hop, lo-fi, chill hop beats to study slash chill to. You probably got into that. I know I certainly did. And in that whole milieu is Bonobo, Simon Green. Now he's one of these bands that it's like the Spotify or like Pandora or whatever algorithm got it right and recommended me a really nice piece of music, and from there it was just pure exploration. Couldn't really get enough of them. We're talking Dial M for Monkey era, like Animal Magic, the very beginning stuff like that. And of course, who doesn't know Black Sands? If you don't know Black Sands, go listen to that album, because I think it's very important, and I still think it's very important to this day. But we're here to continue the saga. I listened to Migration when it came out. I was very excited to hear it when it came out. And I remembered not exactly knowing what to think of it, because I was just coming off of the high of Black Sands and North Borders. And I thought, wow, this is amazing. This is really good music. And I listened to Migration, and I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it the way that I loved those two albums. And so my mind kind of didn't know what to do with it all. And so today I approach this new album, 2022. It's called Fragments, as you can see, with a blank slate. I have no expectations, only hope. Let us begin. Okay, so I wanted to let the intro play out and unfold naturally before we get into what feels a little bit more club-y. This is actually an interesting intro. It seems a little bit more like something you'd expect in the Black Sands era. Yeah, honestly, it's kind of giving me hope for the album. The thing that I appreciate about Simon's music is the fact that he's able to do so much with so little. And then he goes ahead and brings in a lot of elements later, just as if to flex, right? But even like just strip it down to a very minimalist kit, he can accomplish a lot, and it's very evocative. The bass is just it's to someone who hasn't listened to Bonobo before, and you're probably starting to get it now if this is your first Bonobo experience. the bass carries so much weight, and it's so recognizable. It is very much who he is. It's part of his identity. It identifies him clearly. You know what a bonobo bass sounds like. And I am just relieved and excited to know that through it all, he has not changed his bass. You can draw a through line through all of his music, and that is the way that this bass sounds. I know I'm prattling on a lot about the way this man's bass sounds, but it's significant. It's just it's so groovy, and the strings in here, the swelling, it's very evocative. I appreciated the way that he was mixing. He was fading in and out of the strings, those rapid kind of arpeggiations. I kind of didn't know what to think of it in the moment, and yet it's one of those things that just the fact that he was fading in and out kind of was kind of pulling my imagination to go places, if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't, but whatever. All right, so far so good. Let's get into what appears to be the boom boom section.
I thought you know it came to pass. This love is falling down, but falling leaves hang on for life as time is ticking out. I wait and see the fire burn. It's burning to the ground. Wake from the dream without the hurt. The journey's turning round. Save me from the unknown. While I daydream, I'll leave this world to follow. My footsteps are sinking to the hollow. I can retrace the memories in the shadow. Consider that my time away was working for the soul. I studied all I had to face, the fear inside me grows. Save me from the unknown. While I daydream, I'll leave this world to follow.
Okay, so something I want to talk about briefly here is just how much this man has learned over his career. He is first and foremost a student of music and a student of what works and what does not work in music. There's a comment here about something about saying that knowing where he's been, where he's going to, something like that, that this album is about as close to perfection as we're going to get from Simon. I understand where this man's coming from, where this person's coming from. I know what they mean. He has learned a tremendous amount and honed his craft, and you can really tell in the way that he is working in with the musician, or with this guest spot with the singer. What was it, Miguel Atwood Ferguson, right? Shout out to that person, right? They have a nice voice. But you can tell the way that Simon is working in with them instead of kind of just letting two layers be stagnant upon one another. And there's a part, let's go back just a second here. He adds in kind of a harmony, except it's I think it's just with synth instead of any vocal dubbing or anything like that, and it sounds really nice.
Save me from the unknown while I'm daydreaming.
That's what I'm talking about right now. That is what I'm talking about. Just little touches like that, and they're all over the place. You're gonna have to go back and listen to this again, because I know I am. And little touches like this are just replete through the album, and I can only imagine that it's just gonna get better from here. So nice, guys. Okay, back to the groove. Yo, I didn't know Filthy Frank was gonna be in this album. That's funny. That's just funny. Oh man. Well, it's like third from the last song, so we're gonna have to wait a little bit to get to Sir Francis of the Filth, but I trust that it'll be worth it. Again, just one more thing comes to mind. I should say this briefly here. Is the groove in the song, particularly, I don't know. The drum kit's not what I would call standard, so I don't really know what drum it is. It's like some kind of a ride. I can't really place it, but the groove itself overall is reminiscent of some DJ set that I've seen him do. I think it was for Boiler Room. I'm not exactly sure. But if I find it, I'll link that in the description so you can enjoy. And it just seems to me like this man does not like to let things go by. If something's hot, he may not use it at that moment, or he may use it and then he may reuse it, just repurpose things. I mean, this is what you do when you're a DJ. You find something hot and then you're like, oh crap, I gotta remember that. And with luck, either you've had that set recorded, and so you could just go back and watch it, or you just remember somehow how something went. You found a nice pattern, a nice groove, and you could use it later when you found a good vocal sample for it. That strikes me as what happened with this song, honestly. And there's really nothing wrong with that. In fact, there's everything right with that. Okay, so I made a mistake there. I think what we did here, Miguel Atwood Miguel Atwood Ferguson's voice earlier at some point. But apparently I was liking Jordan Rakei's voice. So shout out to both of them. Shout out to everybody involved with this album. Yeah, just thought I'd correct that briefly. Sorry. Okay, so this song, which is, I believe, Rosewood, is starting off with a simple. And this is what you do when you're a DJ and you do club music, is you find patterns that are pretty simple and you repeat them a lot, so that things become catchy, things become danceable, and people like you and give you money. This song is no different. The song before that was no different as well. That's what that's the type of music that we're listening to tonight. Okay, so at the end there, he's kind of playing with it. I sense that he's actually you know, interfering with the actual sample there. But before that, it just seems to me that it kind of has this chameleon quality about it, where it can just change its skin to suit the composition around it. And I don't feel that he was messing with it too much. He may have been, but I don't think so. I don't know, it's just interesting to think about, and like it's something that I'm gonna continue to watch for as we press on here. All right, so I think the song is probably going to change, and change is good. Okay, my final verdict on whether or not he's actually editing the whatever that is, the do, those little things on the keys, um, is that if he wasn't doing it before, he's definitely doing it now. It adds so much value to the beat, and the beat is very busy. I didn't expect it to be this busy. It's big. I'm not gonna lie. It's like borderline big beat. Although I will say that, like, unlike genres like big beat, this is not nearly as loud and overdriven. So I think that can kind of fool you into thinking that the beat is not as big and cluttered as it is, as the fact that it, like, everything sounds very balanced. It's very euphonic in that regard. Okay, more. Okay, so let's speak a little bit about the end of that song. It's the end of Rosewood, I believe. Yeah. Um, that song finished incredibly strong. Um, when he decided to stop letting the little do 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 be kind of the star and master of the show. Oh man, a whole thing unfolded. That was, it sounded a lot like this is DJ Simon more than it is Studio Simon, I feel. And there's nothing wrong with that. Really, really groovy. I was not expecting this album to be so upbeat. It's so it's so much brighter than I thought it was going to be. That's refreshing to hear him doing music that puts a smile on your face, that makes you feel energized and yet calm at the same time. I'm sure you saw my reaction in real time to that. Calm like the distance between wide stars, I think is how they put it. Um, I can't help but agree. Also, if people like this, like Bonobo fans are like this, yeah, I definitely want to go to a Bonobo concert. I wanted to go anyway, but now I really want to go. Okay, let's strap in for Otomo. Beautiful. Okay, it's kind of heavier than I thought it was gonna be. I was exaggerating a little bit, but only a little bit. I don't know what this vocal sample is. I don't know if that's O'Flynn. If that's O'Flynn, shout out to you because all you had to do was go ah. Like there's really not a whole lot of thinking about that, right? Awesome. I would love that gig. I'm ready. Let's check it out. Ah! That's it, right? Perfect. Um, man, that escalated quickly. I think we're gonna go heavy again. Yeah, he only let us up for a little bit of air on that one. Man, excellent. Okay, if anyone can make out what is being said here, or if anyone just knows this, please do not hesitate to comment I'm gonna dive into this comment section and see what's going on here. But I can't find it, and I suspect that I won't be able to. I would love to know, because this isn't just wailing. There's something being said here, and I'm curious. It's so mysterious. Um, it adds an element of suspense to the song, which is, it's like, this is just a typical, well, not typical, but typical club banger, and it's like, what? But it's so mysterious at the same time. I must know. Continue. Okay, so see, this is what I don't understand. People saying that this is soothing and relaxing. It has a tranquil quality to it. It does leave me feeling relaxed, but I feel like comments like this should also talk about how hype it is, because this is absolutely bananas right now. Are we not hearing that? What do you people listen to? I mean, if you listen to heavy stuff, you listen to heavy stuff, but really, this isn't getting that for you. This isn't hitting that button that says, "Hey, this is really hype. It has a lot of energy." Only relaxing and soothing, huh? Only calming, only chill, only tranquil vibes here. I just wanted to make sure I got that all nice and clear. Man, the way that detuned at the end was really interesting. Oh.
We cloud people, we live in gray. Why we don't need release and rain. We cloud people, we never stay. We hold our freedom like a blade. We won't be dry soon. Here come the tides. You move when I do. You'll never be mine. We won't be dry soon. Here come the tides. You move when I do. You'll never be mine. I'm not supposed to feel, I'm not supposed to miss. How am I supposed to heal? How am I supposed to fit? A little awkward, then a little oxygen. I let you get away, I held the ocean in. We cloud people, we live in gray. If you love me, let me float away. We won't be dry soon. Here come the tides. You move when I do. You'll never be mine.
Okay, so this voice, this singer in particular, pretty sure she's been in Bonobo music before. I'm very certain about that. And they just work so well together. Um, the relationship between she and Simon is aging like wine. It really is. She the whole thing with the I'm not, and then that how am I, that was really nice. I really enjoyed that. Little touches like that, to kind of keep it like preserve that the beat in her voice. that's really nice. That's how you know you've got a good singer. It's like she has to be in tune with Simon's music. She has to be feeling it in the studio. Otherwise, it's not going to happen like that. It's not going to be so on point like it is. Um, yeah, I'm also enjoying the slides down. We're tending to go down at the end of these little phrases, and that's interesting because I feel like it's playing well with the bass when she does that. Um, I think that's probably where her focus is. And honestly, if you're listening to Bonobo, that's probably where your focus is as well. Very, very nice stuff. This is beautiful. We'll go back and we'll probably listen to this again. Okay. Yeah, that was more than I expected it to be. Um, but I mean, with the emotionality that she brings into her vocal performances, it really just stands to reason that he would really just play it up. And like I said, his instrumentation, it's so simple, but it's so evocative. And just that's how tailored these sounds are. I can only imagine, and honestly, it sounds horrible. It sounds horrible, and yet it seems rewarding to have spent so much studio time tailoring your sounds, refining them. Every instrument, everything, every little plugin that you use, everything is just perfect. And you finally got it. You have got the font of sound from which you are going to write this album. How are you going to do it? Not what are you going to say, but how are you going to say it? Let's run it back just a little bit and catch those beautiful strings again. Those were very nice. Okay, so right there in the kind of I don't know what that is. I don't know what the instrument that is. I mean, it just sounds like higher notes on a guitar, um, for me. But it could be something else. Could be even be a harp, really. I don't know. But I was kind of haphazard pluckings. They're they seem all over the place, and they kind of are. And it's kind of this album. Has or not album. This song, she has nothing more to say, and you're just left with the emotion sublimating into a profound silence, just a complete stillness, because not because you lack the energy or the emotion, but simply because you have nothing more to say. That's the feeling that I get from that. And it seems like the fact that it's at the end of the song, it's tuning down the energy, whereas I think it was in Polyghosts, it was tuning up the energy. This is a musical callback, and it's brilliant. Musical callbacks, when they're done well, are just they're so nice. I mean, just it's not a question of if you should do them, but when you should do them. And again, not what you should do with them, but how you should do it. This album has so many different little movers, and it's just like I said before, it's very refreshing to see that amount of effort going in um, to this composition. All right, uh, strings. Yeah, that part happens faster than I thought it did. That actually has pretty decent tempo, in line with the song, of course. Um, but still, I didn't expect it. I thought it was slower when I was listening to it before. And the way that things were sliding downward, as if to mimic the vocal stylings of what is it? What's her name? Uh, Jamila Woods. Shout out to Jamila Woods. As if to mirror her vocal stylings there. Uh, it really serves to underscore that sublimation from pitched emotion to a still somber silence. Very powerful. Okay, and I think that was Tides, was it? Yeah. All right, now Elysian. Okay, I want to talk about his bass briefly, and that's very shocking, I know. But the way that he's incorporating him, this is Bonobo the player, and it's also Bonobo the DJ, and it's also Bonobo the um, kind of conductor or whatever when he's live and he's got the kind of the light symphony there that just big, um, that's like all of these elements are coming through. I mean, it's reminiscent of so many different songs. It's like the beginning of Black Sands, and the bass line is kind of like it's kind of like Nocturne, or the way the bass is working with the highs and the guitar, and also like uh, the turtle mix from Sweet Dreams comes to mind as well. Just the way that he's letting some of those bass notes just ring out, and really, I mean, the way he's moving up, uh, it's it's got a lot more energy than uh, pretty much all of those songs separately, right? This It's just enough energy and gravity to hold all of these kind of what I'm perceiving as musical references together. It's really nice. I mean, this is a song or a tune tailored to people who have and have not heard Bonobo alike. Like I can imagine people who have not heard Bonobo hearing this and going, "Whoa, this is really nice," and people who have, for different reasons, listen to this and go, "Whoa, this is really nice." The same kind of enjoyment, the same level of enjoyment can be had by all audiences in this album, just just by virtue of how much work he is putting in here. Okay, let's see what else happens with this song. I'm gonna go back a little bit. This is absolutely incredible. This I think this is my favorite so far, but it's early to make calls on that. To be quite frank with you. Okay, so we kept things short but sweet in that song, and I mean, it's pretty close to the middle. I think you could call this the middle of the album. Um, that's probably what you would consider the interlude, and with good reason because, like I said, so many musical references there. He's not directly ripping off anything there, but there are so many elements that are reminiscent of so many different songs of from this album and uh, others in his discography. Really interesting stuff there. If you're going to do an interlude like that, I mean, it was ambitious. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was ambitious for just a short little interlude tune. Okay, so the next song, Closer, look at it, about 5 minutes. What can he do in 5 minutes? That's the question, right? Oh, okay, huge groove right now, but who is the singer? That's something that's not clear. Very interesting. Um, yeah, I don't know what his drum kit is like. Um, it could just be a closed hat. I don't know what it is, but I don't know what that is. But I'd be interested to know where he started. What sound he started with to arrive at that, because it's everywhere and it's been around in his music. I mean, it's as pervasive in his music as his iconic bass sound is. So I'd like to know if I ever meet him one day. I'm gonna be like, hey, Sime, can I call you Sime? Okay, cool. Um, what's that? What's that sound? And be like, oh, because he's British. It's very funny. Haha. Okay, a huge breakdown right there. Um, the the vocal layering was enough. It wasn't too much, and I think that that's important to note. Um, and just the way that you want to feel closer. I mean, it's the separation before the closeness. I mean, that's that's how you build anticipation. Um, there was like a false start. There was like a here we'll go back. There's like two very like conspicuous kicks, and I don't think it's a mistake. I think he was just trying to fake us out, and it kind of worked, honestly. I mean, not totally, but it kind of did. There. Okay, a lot more clubby than his last albums. I know I've said that before, but you can hear it. You can hear it when he peppers in. It's like a little crash, I think. It's pretty splashy there. Um, and then there was like a, I think it was an open hat as well that made an appearance there toward the end. I mean, so much drive. His beats are a lot busier than I remembered them. I think this is new. And frankly, I think this is a beautiful new direction for Simon to go in. Wow. That one, though. That. The way that, I mean, the way he pulls out all the layers, right? Just, right? Making everything feel all spaced out. Those are the parts that make me feel closer, right? I mean, man, it, when the whole acoustics and everything, that song in particular seems like it was made to hear live and to just experience, right, as part of the crowd. More. The Age of Phase. Everyone's talking about this song. Okay, I think I understand what is meant by Age of Phase now. When that bass came in and it had a whole lot of phase on it, I think I get it now. I don't know if that's the whole the soul of this track, but uh, I mean that is what stands out the most at the moment. Is the phase on that bass? I mean, it's just completely filthy. Frank. Um, wow. I understand why people were talking about that one. Um, that one's got so much going on, and the use of, I don't know, it's like a marimba or what? The kind of whatever that is. There's some treble element going on there. Um, that's being used for its intended purposes. It's being used as a percussion instrument, and therefore it's being used to add to the rhythm instead of um, being something that just kind of sits on top of some music to accent what is going on. It's actually adding a rhythmic element. I think that's kind of impressive. Um, Other than that, this is really kind of straightforward. This one's just a bop. Like that's what this song is. Um, let's see how it unfolds. Because I trust that we're not done developing here. I think we got some things warming up here. There was a moment there where I thought that things slowed down. I think that's what he wanted us to think. It's a lot of, I kind of like, he's kind of doing some mind fornication here, Mr. Simon is. I thought that it had changed tempo. I don't think so, though. But that's why I was kind of focusing pretty hard there for a second. That was very interesting, and I also appreciate whatever this new sound is that is replaced the vocal sample momentarily. That's very interesting. It too, surprisingly, has a lot of phase on it. So very, very apropos title to this song. Okay, I understand why people were talking about that song so much. Wow, that one had a lot of horsepower. Not gonna lie to you. I didn't. I was expecting another, layer or two or whatever, to come in at the end there, but I wasn't expecting the increase that happened. That was a lot. So nice. Gosh, he really is giving the fans what they want in this album. I'm just so relieved. I'm so glad to see that he's doing things in a manner that he had done before. But having learned those new tricks and he's applying his new knowledge, like that's good. Man, I okay. So the emotional payoff is going to be in the last song. That's kind of how things go. This was definitely a peak, though, for sure. This and Closer, which I feel should be taken together. I think those songs really kind of go together. All right, now though, we shall appreciate the stylings of one Joji.
Gone like changing seasons. Alright, alright. You swear this is easy. Alright, alright. Falling from you. Falling from you. Falling from you. Falling from you.
Okay, these two are working really well together. You can tell that Simon has, kind of tailor-made a beat to fit Joji's vocal stylings. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, especially Simon got his start doing hip hop as well, so they're kind of simpatico on that map. The chorus has more harmony, more layering than I thought it was going to. Um, that's very nice. It complements the bass very well. I feel like that's something that you must do if you are going to sing for Simon Green. If you're going to be on his album, you must learn to play nice with the bass. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen. Very melodic though. Maybe I need to listen to more Joji. I don't know. We'll come back to that. We'll put a pin in that thought. But the just the way that he works with his artists, with his guest spots is something that has always impressed me about Simon. All right, let's continue.
You said it was all in my mind, running through the sugar cane, stars in my eyes. I don't wanna leave it without falling back, running from the world and I'll call it back, hiding from the world in a cul-de-sac, hiding from the world in a cul-de-sac, falling from you.
Okay. What I appreciated is that Joji seemed just loud enough with all the layering just to be heard. He didn't want to dominate the track. I appreciated that. His verse, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I don't know how much heart he put into that. I can never tell with him. That's the thing. I've heard a few Joji songs, and I can never really tell how much heart and soul he's putting into it, because not because it seems like he's phoning it in, but because it just seems like he's always on. And therefore it's like, well, when is he really on? You know? That's one thing, and that's kind of spurring me like in the direction of taking a deeper dive into his music just to see what's up with that. Could be quite fruitful. But this, and just the overwhelming weight of Simon's bass is just, he can do whatever he wants in music. He can go, I mean, it was just a club banger, an absolute schlap, the song before, and then the next track is, you know what? Oh, well, let's bring it down. Let's bring down the energy. Let's turn up the bass, right? And let's just lose ourselves in the soundscape. That's what happens when you have that much bass, and it's just beating. You can hear it. You can actually hear the bass beating, which is, it's great. I love when I can hear a sustained note beating like that. And if you don't know what that is, go ahead and look it up. It's fine. I promise the video will still be here. An unlikely duo, and frankly, I kind of want more. I kind of want more from these two. I think they work surprisingly well together. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens again. Lightning can strike twice. All right, onward. so one thing that I'm appreciating about this song so far is that it feels like the what it is. I want to guess marimba, but that's something that doesn't feel right. The high, right? Um, that seems to be kind of falling in and out of time. I'm sensing that there may be more than one time signature going here. Again, I can't quite tell. My music theory is not that strong, but I'm sensing that. Whether or not I'm right, whatever. It just feels like this high, this treble instrument is falling in and out of time with the beat, and that's really cool because the beat seems more steady. And then these other things are kind of just like a playful exploration with the other instruments. It's very interesting, and especially this song doesn't seem to be as in your face as the other ones so far. So I'm feeling that it's meant to be kind of lighter, more playful, and especially after a song that's emotionally heavier, like From You, that can be very refreshing. That can be a welcome change. All right, let's see what else he does with it. Yeah, I can't help but feel that this song is titled very well to counterpoint, right? So we've got a lower, very like overdriven with the phase, kind of grittier sound coming in there, and it's taking the place, and it's hitting a lot of the same kind of patterns. It might be the same pattern as that higher kind of marimba kind of sounding thing from before. It comes like on the opposite side of a divide that was very spacey, right? Very etheric and spaced out. That's interesting. Musically, like that's storytelling. And there are no words involved. And yet a story is being told. That's what we're talking about right now. That is what we're talking about. Okay, so that I don't know what that is, but that keyboard setting, I don't think it made an appearance in the album before. See, that's interesting. His little bag of tricks, right? Seems to be bottomless. That meow meow. It's kind of, I don't know what it's like. It's got a lot of face, so it's like that. Man, I'd like to, you know, take a peek under the hood, see see what these things look like the waveform of some of these instruments that he's using. Would be pretty nice. Okay, so the what's interesting about this song to me is that the bass is so much more punchy. He's ditched that kind of a languid, kind of trademark bonobo sound, and it's just it's got a lot of pop, and I think it's so do elements in his drum kit. They've got a lot more punch, a lot more pop than uh, they had earlier. It just sounds different. Things sound different. He's got like a different fingerprint for this song completely. Like not only are the not only is the sound font seem to have changed a little bit, not a whole lot, mind you, but a little bit. Um, but the style, his approach to this song is different. I mean, it seems like old Bonobo, old school Bonobo, like Dial M for Monkey kind of stuff. That's what this seems like. Really, a lot of hip hop here. You got to appreciate that. All right, I think we're about to hit a change here. Can't wait for that. Okay, I think I have to talk about the synths now. I mean, they sound lachrymose, really, is the word I would use. It's so interesting. I mean, we've got a lot of different sounds here. I mean, it seems like he's really just kind of using this song. The entire back half of the album seems like Bonobo at play, and that's a good thing, really. Um, he's still doing a lot of musical references, and he's still doing his regular Bonobo thing, but there's also something else happening here. I can't quite explain it. I can't put my finger on it just yet, but something is developing here. The amount of mixing that was going in there was unbelievable. I mean, it sounded like, man, it sounded like two or three other songs just kind of stacked on one another. That was great. I honestly I didn't know how to feel about it when it first began, but by the end there, I'm hooked. I'm in. Once there became like a just a regular hi-hat kind of thing going on, that was so unexpected. It really, really brought a lot of energy into the mix. The whole thing was just so busy overall. I mean, he's doing a lot doing a lot more shorter sounds in this album. I notice it's not the languid kind of string and brass that you come to expect from kind of the Black Sands era or what have you. It's a lot more about these quick little improvisations and just wow. That one kind of leaves me speechless. That one leaves me wondering a little bit. Okay, final song. Let's see about that emotional payoff, right? We have been on a journey. This album, I have been putting this off a little bit, but that's life. And I'm just glad that I've been able to finally get to that. And I'm glad that I'm in a position in my life where I can do these things. And if you have any recommendations, I think I saw a Röyksopp album. There may be a new Röyksopp album. If that's the case, I think that's where we're going next. But yes, I will keep you posted on the Lana Del Rey stream. Yeah, and you guys, we're in together. We're on this adventure together. It's gonna be nice. And it's gonna be exactly as nice as we make it. We're gonna make it very nice. Okay. Final track. Maybe we'll have a lot to say about it, but if not, then it's been real. You do have to appreciate old school DJing. That was actually pretty nice.
I know you can hear me. You don't want it this way.
Okay, so alright. So that the whole album, I do need to feel the need to say some things about that. Um, just kind of just it wasn't that huge payoff and a huge like catharsis that you felt like at the end of Black Sands, and you shouldn't compare everything he does to Black Sands. He's more than that album, um, but instead it was this feeling of resolution, just day by day. It was really, I think, really apropos to sum up what is being said here. There are a lot of challenges, and there are a lot of things, and there are a lot of complex emotions in daily life, but you know, day by day you do get through it. I think that's kind of the message here. And like this being like COVID era music, I understand that. I understand that sentiment completely. I just there's a lot here, and at some level though, I can't help but feel that I'm being mocked, right? And I wonder if if that's what he's meaning to say. You know, all these musical references, it's like are you not entertained? You know, like here, listen, I'm Bonobo again, you know, dance, idiot. And I can't help but feel a little bit of that. Maybe I'm just being paranoid though. The whole thing is just so thoroughly enjoyable. I can't say enough about it in this video. I mean, it would be like, you know, just 5 hours long and just me just babbling about nothing. But please listen to it and listen to it again. There is so much there. There's a gold mine. Every sound, every change of sound is a statement in this complex thesis that is being rolled out in front of us. And on top of all of that, what really makes this enjoyable for me is that it is so complex whilst also being very groovy, very hype, very this and that, very easy to dance to. That's what this is. That's what Bonobo is meant to be. Of all things, it's supposed to be thoughtful and groovy. That's kind of the deal here. So if this was your first Bonobo experience, welcome aboard. This is kind of the vibe. And if you find bands like this in, you know, the great algorithm, if it gets recommended to you, hold on to that because it's probably good music as well. Just no matter what, hold on to good music. Keep it close to your heart. Keep it in your person. Like, even if there's no words to sing along to, if you're the type to sing, just keep it in your heart. Because good music is so miraculous and it's so rare. It's really something that should be protected. The best protection that we as human beings have is our heart. That is our ultimate shield. It can withstand anything. So wrap yourself around good music, no matter where you find it, and carry on. That's what you do as a person. Stay cool, be good to each other. I'll catch you next time.